Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you the script step by step of how to create a perforated sheet. We will use in this example the circles that you can control it, increase it, and uh, play with parameters. I did it just to add, uh, it could be added as a decorative element sheet or separation between the rooms, or you can use it for an elevation like this. So let's get started. Okay, our script is simply 4 parts divided into 4 parts. The first part is dividing the surface and adding the nodes so you can take it as a center of your shape. The second part is the shape, which is circle in our case. The third part is the attractor, to have the different shape of different radius for the circles, and this is we get it by scaling. And the last part is adding the thickness with splitting randomly. The thickness I added just to cut between the the base, the surface base, and the model. As you can see, it's if you want to split an object, you have to make sure that is extruded in and out in both sides, so you can cut it with no issues. So let's start with surface. Pick your surface, add a grid structure, or you can use the other one, diagonal with no border. And U and V is, it's depend on your design. So for me, 25 and 50, it's working for me. So the second part is the circles, which will I use the normal one. Circle. Okay. The normal is the perpendicular on the surface that the circle will be facing. So here, as you can see, is following the centers, but is not following the face, the surface. So simply connect the surface to the normal, so you can have it facing the same vector or direction of the surface. After that, the scale geometry. If you are happy with the radius, you can just add a simple slider, so you can change it. The circle, okay, the centers is the nodes. The nodes means the point. So as you can see, it's scaled, so we don't need this now. And the factor, if you want the same size, the same radius, you don't need the attractor, the third part. So this is first part, and this is the second part. If you want to add some dramatic or dynamic shape, you have to add the attractor starting with the closest point. No, not this. Okay, closest. Yeah, the curve closest point. The points is the node, and the curve is, I already have here. You can draw any curve that you want that the attraction will start from. Okay, and as usual, the attractor component is bonds from minimum and maximum, and remap the numbers. The value is the distance between the curve and the point, and the bonds is the distance, but it's is remapped from the minimum and the max, so we can use it as a source. Then the target is construct domain. Okay, the construct domain in our case, we need to have the variation or the dynamic, the dramatic with the factor, with the scaling. So in case if you want to scale the circles, you have only from 0 to 1, as 1 is the biggest one, as yani, I mean, without any change of the original radius. But 0.5, it's the half of the radius. So the domain start and end, it starts with 0. You can just add 0.9 and duplicate it. Okay, so now the attraction is ready. And as you can see, if you move the curve, the circle will be changed, depend on the curve directions. So the 0.2 is the value next to the curve, and 0.9 that is far away from the curve. So this is the third part. Okay, the last part is offset. This offset surface. Yeah. By the way, this component from Lunchbox, and this component from Pufferfish. Okay, the Pufferfish surface offset is mean extrude the surface. As I told you before, that we need to add some to split the cut between both surfaces. So we need to have a solid. So the distance is it's uh, it's 1, and I think 1 is enough. Okay, 1, and both sides mean the other side. If you wanted, you assign a number for with it. If you don't want to extrude to the different direction, the other direction, reverse, keep it 0. In our case, we know we want to extrude it, so we need to add a negative, so it can be extruded to the opposite side. Now we have in a multiple direction. And create solid mean adding a cap. Always keep it true. Okay, list. What we need now is to split and remove randomly a circle, so to avoid the regular pattern. So I will use split list randomly, random split list, and this is from Lunchbox. To add the offset to the master list, and seed, just keep it for 50, and split that if you want to split it half, 0.5 or 0.2, like 25 percentage of the original or master list. So keep it 0.5 for now, and if you want to see what's happening, add a geometry and assign the list B. Okay, one step that we need to do it, to have the final result, is master, make it as a flattened, so it can be read as a one object. Let's hide this and this one, this one, yeah. Okay, so as you can see, if you the more you increase the split ratio, the the less you have the from the list. List B is the reverse. List A is the reduced one. So it doesn't matter list A or list B, you just play with the number until you are satisfied with the results. Okay, so this is the final part. You can add Um, one more step to avoid the edges circles, you can just pick a curve or you can just scale. You can just scale the original surface and assign it to the surface and to the normal. Now you have the new circle with the margin between the borders, and also if you can see the circle clashing, and here it's simple that you can control this one. Just keep it away from any clash could be happen, and you can also increase the radius if you want. Okay, and this one increase. Yeah, okay. So when you are happy, go to the geometry, bake it. I prefer to split inside Rhino, not Grasshopper, because I think it takes time. So we will do it in Rhino. Okay, so you have the cutting object and the original flat surface. Select the surface, split, cutting object, select the cutting object, enter. Okay, before any deselecting any objects, press Ctrl and select the flat surface, removing from the selection and delete. Then delete the cutting object. So you can have it clearly with no any other uh, intersect object or something. And you can simply extrude, add a thickness, as you can see. Okay, that's for today. In next video, I will show you how to create the same script but with the curvature shapes. So keep waiting for new updates in Telegram channel, and you can also find this script. See you next one.